following podcast may contain some adult language. You've been warned.
Welcome to Finding the Narrative, the Genesys RPG Podcast. This is a show dedicated to the Genesys Role Playing System from Fantasy Flight Games, originally and now produced by Edge Studio. A show in which we, your hosts, discuss all things Genesys from a player's and a GM's perspective, normally. However, this is one of our actual play sessions. I am Tony Fanning. I'll be your GM. And with me, as always, are my co-hosts and players, Steph Dragonspawn, Chris Holmes, and also joined by my son Sean again, who will be playing with us. How we doing, guys? Starting with you, homie.
I'm doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. Doing plenty of gaming. Plenty of dungeon mastering for sure this week. Oh man, epic session in Rime of the Frost Maiden Tuesday night. There are things when you mix a werebear PC and a berserker axe where fun things happen. Let's just say. And failed rolls and failed wisdom saves. And then yet again, my PCs last night pulled the Great Hall in against the Giants, the Great Feast Hall in the first one. And ran into the woods with the chieftain's wife slung over their shoulder. So, woohoo! Good shit, man. It's epic. Stefan,
week of gaming.
How you doing? Yeah, it is. How you doing, Stefan?
I'm good. My back is sore because I've been chopping wood. I've been doing the lumberjack thing.
Yeah, you have.
That's it. So, if it stands before me, I chop it down. If it stands behind me, I turn around and chop it down. If they stand next to me, well, that's my husband. I don't chop him down. So.
Well, you would in other ways.
No. That's wah, wah, wah. Well, that's a different type of wood. So. Other than that, a few people have downloaded or accessed my Dragonstar stuff on my drive-through or my Dropbox. That's the conversion I did from 3rd edition to Genesys, and it's gotten some good feedback, and now I'm continuing translating some other books because I didn't do all the books in one shot. So I'm doing a bit more, slowly but surely. That keeps me busy, along with learning a bit more Spanish. How are you doing, Tony?
Oh, I'm freaking fantastic, man.
Cool.
You forgot when you were talking about your epic role-playing sessions this week, the shitstorm we had on Thursday night.
Well, I figured I'd let you do it.
Yeah.
Literally, the shitstorm.
Yeah. In my Cthulhu 5e game, they crawled down inside of a poop.
Poop chute. You call it a poop chute. That's what it was.
It was a privy. They crawled down a privy into a cavern full of poo and fought some ghouls.
Yeah, we did.
Like you do.
Let's just say I had the suffocation rules pulled up just in case I went flat first into the poo, man. Because I was down to a couple hit points.
It got brutal. It got brutal there for a little bit.
Yeah.
I think my character was gagging the whole time.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I think you're the only character who's gagging pretty much the whole time, and then there were still dread checks, so that's...
Yeah. I like that dread mechanic, man. That's pretty cool. That's the Cthulhu Mythos by Sandy Peterson you're running, right? With the 5e. That's awesome. That's good stuff.
And I've sat down and played some card games this week with my buddy Don, and then later yesterday with Sean. We hung out. He's flipping me off.
Oh, he's your number one.
Let's just say we played Hero Realms last night, and he didn't win a damn game.
Yeah, something about some bullshit luck of somebody getting cheap cards every time you went to go buy champions or actions, but every time I went to go buy them, you gotta have 5 or 6 gold.
hate it when that happens, man. It sucks.
Yeah, he bought up like fucking 6 things that were like 1 or 2 gold apiece in the first 3 to 4 rounds. It was like, fuck you.
And he didn't have the money. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
He just
Denial
watched
of resources.
nothing. One turn he watched me buy one for 1 gold. I flipped up another one for 1 gold, bought that for 1 gold, flipped up another one for 2 gold, bought that, and then flipped up another one worth 1 gold. One turn alone, I was like, oh, it was great.
It was
Powerful,
bullshit
cheap
luck.
abilities in that game will hurt you fast. I'm pretty sure that game was we probably only played for 20 minutes and he was dead. So
27 damage in 1 turn.
Oh, dude, that's a lot. Don't you start with like 50 or 75 or something like that?
You start with between 50
and
60. 60, depending on your character.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, you can play characters in that game.
yeah,
That's
so it was a fun night of cards for me, not so much for Sean. We quit when he rage quit.
Table flip.
But
Well,
then we
hopefully
had
he won't rage quit tonight.
but then we had a good time watching a movie on Netflix and hung out.
Awesome.
So good time.
I had to stop there before I got too loud and woke up his wife, whatever her name is. I forget sometimes.
Whatever.
What?
I honestly, there's sometimes I go to mention it and I'm like, what's her name again? Oh yeah. No
I've
joke.
mentioned her on here before. It's perfectly okay.
Yeah. I had to
All right, so
I wanted to stop
Well,
early.
welcome to the show. Welcome to the show again, there, Sean. I was gonna ask you how yours was, but last night we know you got smoked by your dad and playing cards. So.
My week's been not too bad though. I did get my 2nd dose of the COVID vaccine on Wednesday.
Cool.
Awesome. You got your nanobots. I'm getting mine on Wednesday.
Yeah, I got the 5G microchip in me.
yeah, he hasn't increased the signal
Wandering.
strength in
Wand-
the house, so the rest
No?
of us will have to get it.
Awesome.
Yeah, at
Good,
least
good.
2 people per household need to have it. 3 better, because then it can triangulate the single. Yeah,
Yeah.
make it
Exactly.
bigger.
I'm
Let's
just
go
hoping
with-
I'm hoping it improves my wife's taste.
Well, she married you, so I don't know if there's too much.
Well, then
help.
maybe I don't want her
Did I
taste
say that?
improved. You're right. All right, all kidding aside.
All right.
So
what do we do tonight?
Tonight we are going back into Primordial Machina.
Oh, yeah.
This is the Crying Sky campaign. Still, we are in episode 3 of it now. Hard to say whether you guys will finish tonight or not. Probably not. But we have our 3 intrepid adventurers from the Golden Shard Adventuring Company who have been stranded in a place called the Crying Sky. They just investigated some old elven ruins, had a full plate, full week, and almost an extra couple of days of investigating and searching the ruins. Found a few clues of people who had been there in the past.
Yeah.
To clarify those bits, because I listened to our last session, we were kind of all over the place. So there was a group that arrived here some 20 years ago, attempted to rob some of the elven tombs, and they
Got
cursed and died instantly. Those people came from a fallen city-state called Stormspire. Then there is another group who has come here more recently, within the last few weeks. It was unclear. Nobody really got a good guess as to how far ahead of they are, but they were here. They kind of did the same thing you did, investigated the ruins, but they also set up some sort of laboratory in which it looks like they created some revenants. It is undetermined as to whether they created elven revenants or they turned something else into a revenant.
Yeah. I think we managed to get the fact maybe they've been here maybe a month, I think.
Yeah, roughly, you guessing
Roughly.
maybe a month they had ahead of you that they had been here. You then followed their trail because you had found a way to possibly leave this place, which was a small airship, flying vessel that would have been used by one of the overseers of this elven slave community, an elder fae overseer. It would have been used by him, one of them, to fly around and observe from above. The scepter that controlled said vehicle was missing. A search of the ruins, you never found any scepter. You assume, since the footprints were near where the crashed vehicle was, and there was an impression in the dirt, which I failed to mention last session, of where the rod had been, near those footprints led to the west, out of the ruins, and you followed them. You followed them to a crossroads where they continued west, and then you eventually followed them to a place where there was a crater in the ground filled with a lake of tar, and some sort of guardian was stuck in that lake of tar, and a bunch of Immortal Resurgence warriors' bodies were laying about the crater also. Looked like they had fought said warrior. Those look at, so you can now assume that it is the Immortal Resurgence whom you are following, their agents. And so you then continued west, found a place to camp. Next morning, fought some evil, hungry plant monsters, blew them to smithereens.
Yeah.
And or
shot
trapped
down a branch on them that killed one,
Trapped.
pinned the other.
or trapped it. Yes, either blew to smithereens with a clockwork grenade or trapped under a fallen tree. And then you left. So now we fade back in, and it says 4 days later, you have followed these 10 warriors. You guessed their numbers to originally have been 20, and you found around 10 dead around the Stone Guardian. So roughly 10 is their number. You followed them until you could no longer find any footprints. However, you found a couple remnants of camps that they've set, and been following that. It appears that they are following a westerly road of ancient cobblestone.
Okay.
They have now exited the jungle and have moved into the broken terrain area of the air manifest zone that you had seen in the distance. That was where you saw the storm clouds with purple and green lightning, and it was a roiling storm front. They've now moved into that area. The storm clouds are above and all around you. There are broken little islands of land that just float in these clouds. And you have, in between a lot of these islands, are old rope bridges that are connecting them. And you're following that path in the westerly direction when the islands start to travel in an upward direction further into the air manifest zone. And some of them are connected by ancient stone stairs, even. And that's where we enter. You guys, it's been, like I said, 4 days. So you've rested, you've healed. I took care of that, got rid of your wounds and strain.
Okay.
And I'm gonna share just kind of an image here for you guys of this. Boy, That is huge. All right. It's a large image. And I can't shrink it.
Oh. Should be able to shrink it.
Nope, I can't shrink it anymore. But that's fine. Here we go. This is kind of what this place, give you an idea what this place looks like. So.
Oh, that is huge.
Yes. All these stone islands floating in the sky, and rope bridges, vines, all kinds of ways they're connected. Stone bridges between some of them. Some of them have structures on them. And you are currently on the leftmost one there, where there is a well. And you have camped by that well under some trees.
Gotcha.
I don't know if you guys can see it, but it is there.
All right, the one,
You see what I'm talking about?
the lowest one with the well.
Leftmost upper one with the well.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Just
That
go
one?
all the way to the left. There you go. So yeah,
That
it's
one?
just this. It's like about 40 to 50 feet across, about 70 feet long, and 100 feet deep of stone, with a small bit of grass, a stone well that is filled with clear, drinkable water, obviously enchanted.
Hmm.
And next to the well, you decided good place to camp. There's a small grove of trees, and you've set up camp there. Now, you've found some evidence in the morning, because you waited till late at night to set up your camp, so you couldn't really see in the dark super well. But you set up. In the morning when you wake up, you find some evidence of a previous camp here, which you've been finding all along, camps of the Immortal Resurgence. But what catches your eye here is this camp doesn't appear to be one of theirs, and it's recent.
Hmm.
Oh.
Okay.
Recent, as in within a few days, or
Within a couple weeks,
within a
maybe
couple weeks?
maybe 10 days or less.
Okay.
Someone else did camp here, and Stefan, I would
Mhm.
like you to give me a perception check, please,
Right.
for Zszree.
All
And
right.
let's do that with a single difficulty.
Oh, right. All right.
See if you notice
About
all.
that. All right. Let's go for it. I'm not spending any story points.
Okay, go right ahead.
Okay. All right then.
Oh,
yeah.
look at that! Right out the bat, dude.
That's it. So a
Perfect.
success, an advantage, and a triumph. Ta-da!
Success. You recognize this is a amalgam tribesman's.
Hmm.
With the amalgam tribes. You originally, where you came from was an amalgam tribe, one that had settled in the city of Calder, but
Right.
the amalgam tribes generally stick to one element of amalgams.
Right.
You've determined
And
this is an amalgam tribe camp.
Okay. So
That's
the advantage.
success.
Right. So with advantage, could I tell which type of amalgam it could be? It could be.
Air
Yeah.
elemental amalgams have
That's what I
camped here,
suspected. All right.
and recently.
And very easily. So we've got a camp of air amalgams that stopped here very, very recently.
Oh, makes sense.
So,
Anything
Oh.
else?
Whoa. We just had a Skype hiccup.
oh,
You sound fine.
It broke up
Okay.
on our end. Okay.
Sounded
Sorry.
fine here.
okay.
Continue.
So I don't know exactly with the Triumph.
I can give you a big clue.
Right. Okay. So you have a big clue. If you have an idea, go ahead.
You find tucked away in a nook in one of the trees where there was a fake knothole,
Mm.
you find a journal and a map.
Oh. Well, then I'll retrieve that carefully.
Ooh.
Okay, the journal appears to be a campsite journal.
Oh, okay.
Very much like people geocache nowadays. It's where the amalgam tribes, who are nomadic, will leave these small journals about places where amalgams camp, and they can leave messages for each other. They can leave little stories about their people. It's kind of a
Okay.
it keeps their tribal identity, but it also shares amongst the other elemental people, the other amalgam peoples.
Some more details. All right. I'll check to see if I can read it. If not, I'll pass it to one of the two scholars there.
I'll go ahead and take a look at that.
And
Lots of information.
the last group to stay here appears to be a group known as the Windsworn. They are scouts who protect these tors. Apparently, a large settlement is in these tors.
Okay.
A city by the name of Wisp. And the Windsworn are their warrior scout warrior scouts who have been patrolling.
Right.
And there is a map there that looks like one of them left to a nearby guard post, and it says if you are from another land and you come in peace, here is where you can learn the location of Wisp. And as long as you come bringing peace, peace is what you will find.
Oh,
Excellent.
All
Let's go.
Is there any mention of the scouts who made this camp recently that mentioned that they may have come across the others
There was no
that we're
mention.
pursuing? All right.
They were on a regular patrol, and you don't know if those others stopped or even camped on this this particular moat, earth moat of.
How far
land.
behind this other group were we?
About a month. The Immortal Resurgence.
So I'll look back in
agents.
the journal. Maybe there was a note in this journal about it. I don't know.
No, nothing of the sort.
All
They
right,
obviously, if they did camp here, they did not, one, leave any sign, because you don't see any sign of it. Two, they probably, if they did camp here, did not know of the journal and map's existence.
No. All right.
Well, I think more than anything, I was pulling on Stefan's idea that maybe one of these earlier patrols a month or so ago, may have maybe there was a journal entry in here saying we're following this group.
Their patrols do travel. Their patrols do travel through here about every 10 days, give or take. And none of the last 4 patrols mentioned seeing anything out of order. Now, 5 patrols ago, they do mention that they fought some remnant. They just call them remnant. They don't know. You don't know what that means.
Okay. All right.
That's kind of what we were looking for, but okay.
All right. So fold everything back up and put them in the hidey hole. Yeah.
Yeah.
Memorize. Maybe make a copy of the map then.
I'll take some notes on it.
The city of Wisp, and then once we're ready, I guess
maybe
we can
do
leave.
a rough sketch or take some notes down on it.
Okay.
Let's go to Wisp, I guess.
Well,
That's the best place.
the map is to a guard post where you can
Right.
receive
We'll take it.
directions.
Right.
It
to
seems to
Wisp.
be they're pretty protective. They have guard outposts and regular patrols, and apparently the location of Wisp is protected information.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Well, then,
Let's
yeah,
go to that guard post.
outpost. Yeah, go to the outpost.
We set out.
All right.
Gather
It's going to be
here.
another day traveling through the Tors. And you don't need that map anymore. That was more just to show you what I meant by these islands and what they
Right.
look like.
Got it.
We're getting used to it anyway.
And yeah, traveling light like you do. You can make good headway. Takes another day. You continue upward and westward until you are you see a storm cloud that is lingered over a rather large earth moat. This earth moat large enough to have a fort on it and have that fort be hidden. There's like I said, there is a storm cloud that hovers directly over that. Purple and green lightning shoot through that storm cloud. It rains pretty regularly onto that, or not regularly, but pretty consistently. It's raining on that, right on that Tor, or that, not Tor, geez. The Earth moat.
The Earth moat.
Yeah, they're Earth moats or air islands, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, it's raining directly over it, and it covers just that. Like once it gets off the land, there's no storm.
Okay. All right.
And there is a winding stone staircase from the one you're on where you see this place that winds up some 200 feet to it.
All right. Yeah, let's follow that up.
Yeah, I guess this is the outpost.
Onward and upwards.
Okay. When you arrive on that island, you see about you, it looks like any land that is verdant green. There appears to be a river. A lot of it flows. The terrain kind of is graded downward toward the river, so the rain is flowing downward towards, and there appears to be like sign of mudslides real bad on this island. And
Okay.
coming up from the ground near you, a pair of just huge rocks jut upward, and stepping out of one of those rocks is this guy.
Whoa.
So we're talking about, he appears to be a man made of granite, wearing armor and holding a stone axe, also made of the same substance as him.
We come in peace.
He holds up his hand
we come in
Stop.
peace.
And in a deep, deep, rumbling, gravelly voice, goes there. You feel it in your bones when this guy talks.
We are adventurers from the Golden Shard Company. I am Xandra Cole. My friends Victor Coffee and Old 77.
We come in
I do an
peace.
extravagant bow when Xandra introduces me.
And we have brought the peace with us as well.
Yes, and I am Professor Calliope Ambrose.
Oh, yes, of course. I forgot about it.
That's right. She's with us too.
Yes.
Of the University of Shattered Crown.
Hmm.
Oh. He nods. Your weapons. And he holds out a big stone hand.
Oh, all right. I hope I get these back. And she whips out her pistols in a very flashy moves. And then click, sets them in his hand.
He only looks at them for a second, and then hands them back to you.
All right.
All right, I take out two clockwork grenades, a light pistol, and I'll take out a potion and put it in his hand too. Potion of paralyzation.
He big stone finger pushes the pistol back towards you, pushes the potion back towards you, and palms the grenades.
Okay.
They'll be returned to you.
Okay.
I walk over and gently set my pistol down in his hand.
He just doesn't even before it even it touches his hand, he just pulls his hand away.
Yeah, apparently he's getting used to pistols, yeah.
Your pea shooters will not harm. Come.
We don't want to harm.
And he guides you towards the center of this aisle, and it's a little precarious going down the hill, but with his support, the four of you scale down the hill. It's slick, and you come to the river, and now you see down by the river there is a boat tied and hidden. He points to the boat. Take boat up to the fort.
All right. Thank you.
And then he walks back up to his post.
I'm glad we did not have to fight him.
So, y'all get in the boat?
Lad.
We'll get in the boat.
Okay. There's a pair of strange-looking golden oars on either side of the boat.
All right.
We best get rowing.
Okay. You start to row, and the boat starts to float upward into the storm cloud.
Well, this is fairly interesting.
Mm-hmm.
He did say up to the fort.
Yes.
I guess he literally.
But we're not exactly following the river, are we? Technically.
It is actually following the river. It winds along the path you go, goes along over the river.
Over the river and up. All right. Nice.
All right.
And into the storm cloud where you can no longer see below, and it's just black and there's lightning flashing all around you, but it doesn't seem to harm the boat.
Fairly precarious.
And then then you break the cloud, and in the center of this storm is this stone keep with a drawbridge down. There are archers along the battlements. Some of them are earth amalgam, some are water amalgam. There is one fire amalgam, but most of them are air amalgam.
All right.
And you're met at the gate by two of these guys. And this is a tiny image, so bear with.
Oh, okay.
A couple of wisp folk warriors.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
They meet you at the gate, and they check you over briefly, and then they escort you in, and you're taken to what appears to be a guardhouse.
Okay.
And you're escorted to meet this man. Eventually, you meet him. He is seated at a desk. Appears to be the captain of this post. He's got a, fine armor on. He is definitely an air amalgam, not a wisp folk. That is that he has blue skin covered with wind patterns. He has hair that moves of its own accord, as if it's in the wind. Otherwise he's humanoid, and lightning plays across his fingers when he is resting his hands on his desk, kind of steepling his fingers. He goes, "Thank you," to the guards. They leave. "I am Dravos Stormbender. I am captain of this watch post. And you are?"
Oh, pleased to meet you. I am Zandrakol.
I'm
Bye.
Richter Coffee. Nice to meet you.
I am Old 77.
And Professor Ambrose introduces herself last. "Now, what is your business in our land?"
Funny story.
Yes. Please, go ahead, Victor.
Well, we were on an expedition for the university. Well, for our company. The professor here was also in the area when she got kidnapped, chased her. Ended up
What sort of expedition?
an archaeological one, doing exploration on old ruins in our lands. I'll give them like where we were.
You were in the land of the shifting sands south of Shattered Crown.
Yep, in the shifting sands south of Shattered Crown. Luckily I had this tablet I was investigating at the time, and one thing led to another. What did we call that thing? A desert kraken creature came and was going to destroy us.
Yes, we were attacked by nomads of some kind, and they summoned this worm.
They did. And we ended up, I ended up opening up a portal. Wasn't sure where it was going to go to. But it ended up dumping us into one of the tombs on one of the moats. And I try and describe the best I can where we ended up relative to kind of where we are now. You know what I mean?
I am surprised to see you alive. You must be skilled soldiers. The Guardians did not kill you.
Guardians of the tomb?
The stone guardians that guard that city. There are 4. They are tremendous in size. They slaughter all life they see. That is not
one of them.
simple animals or plants.
Yeah, we saw one in the tar pit.
Oh, yeah.
It was in the tar pit. Stuck.
Yeah. There's one stuck in a tar pit outside of town. Ended up going around it and made our way out this way.
And we didn't encounter any other ones.
We did not.
Fortunate.
Or any signs of any other ones.
Yeah. And we're trying to make our way back home, to be honest. And we're wondering if you can help us.
I've never heard of your land of Shattered Crown nor shifting sand.
But we also are trying to track this group that was from that same tomb that we appeared in. They, I lost my accent there.
I don't know if I don't think they were in. Well, they did come through that same tomb, but
maybe
I think
they came from the tomb, and
I think they were exploring the tombs, but they didn't come the same when we did. But they did raid it and got themselves killed because of the.
Some of them may have gotten themselves killed. With about a month ago, and then they left the city heading west. We found proof that they may have performed some kind of ritual to animate the dead.
Like him?
Similar.
We think so, yes.
It was probably a similar ritual, yes.
But they may have something that would allow us to leave your land and go back to our home. Some kind of scepter or rod.
Describe this rod for me.
Oh, well.
Probably one of the overseers from long ago.
And when you say the word overseer, he makes a symbol on his chest and hisses, and lightning crackles across his hands.
Oh, sorry. I meant no offense. I apologize. I truly do. But it was one of the scepters I believe maybe they have used on what we found one of their vehicles crashed in one of the city the city.
Kind of flying ship.
Those monsters still remain in these land. Hideous beasts.
Mm.
They are mad with time. Their masters passing. But they are hideous and dangerous. I have lost many a good warrior fighting these creatures.
I see.
Forgive my outburst.
Oh, it's okay.
No, it can be understandable if you have such strong and negative memories of them.
So you wish to return to your home?
Yes, no more, no less. Even the tombs we appeared in, we didn't dare desecrate. We just left them as they were.
So we tried to clean one up, fix it up a little bit, put it back the way we thought it would be, but
we didn't take anything away.
Oh no, we have no need of that.
It didn't seem right.
Well, it is good news that you are not grave robbers, but I do not care about the former rulers of these lands. They are a dead society. Our people now control this place. I do know of one in our city who could help you.
That would be appreciated.
I can perhaps send you with a letter, but you must swear that you mean peace to my people, that you will not harm any. And understand that our law is if you harm a citizen of Wisp or any of her soldiers, protectors, the penalty is death.
Well, certainly, yes, that's certainly not our intention. We want to defend ourselves, but we don't want to cause any harm to anyone.
We help outsiders who are willing to come in peace, but we will not help you. And we will make sure you perish horribly if you harm anyone. I'm just warning you, this is not a threat.
No, we understand. Thank you for the advance warning. And we will behave.
Then I will write you a letter you take with you. You can go to one of my men will escort you to Wisp, and there you can speak to her.
Okay.
She is one of your kind.
Oh, to whom does he say this?
He spoke to you as a group when he said that, which kind of was like,
okay,
there's 4 different races here. Do you mean?
Well, Zondra's a fire amalgam. You would think he would probably be addressing her probably more than us. Being another
would
amalgam.
think, but he spoke to the group of you. One of you want to perceive who exactly he was speaking to, or do you want to just ask?
Just ask.
Just ask.
He goes, more directly, you. And he points at Richter.
Oh, all right.
Yes, because having a fire amalgam revenant clockwork human would be very strange.
Indeed. I would not imagine such a thing.
Yep.
Here you may reprovision if you need food, water. My soldier will take you and escort you to Wisp.
Of course, there was a time I tried that fireweed. That was a very strange dream. I'm never having fireweed anymore.
Yes, I don't even want to remember. And what you did to that bathroom. I
know. So much melted.
Don't want that to happen again.
So much melted metal.
No, I know. The
You have
smell.
any other questions for this guy?
No, I do not think so.
Was there we noticed in your log, the camp log, probably about 5 weeks ago, that you had an encounter with one of your patrols had an encounter with maybe this group that we may have been, I guess, following their trails.
I think they use
Do you know of that?
I've not heard of any patrol finding out interlopers. You are first ones we have seen in a long time.
Not interlopers, but had contact with what was the word they used, Tony? I can't remember what it was.
remnant.
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 Yeah, what is this? What is this remnant word?
Remnant. This would be remaining forces of the elder monstrosities.
I see.
Oh, I got you.
They have still former troops in these lands that hideous beasts, skithering invaders, some of those overseers that you are talking about.
Okay.
Elder Fey Reapers, and then the occasional Elder Fey infected, someone who has come across a mote of Elder Fey energy and who has been infected with it, was once a human or an amalgam.
Interesting. Well, we'll try to make sure we don't get into contact with any of those remnants.
If I will describe the creatures we saw floating in the tubes in that room that we saw the where they did like the remnant procedure or whatever, and ask
Come with me. Come with me. This will be educational. And he takes you down a hallway into a classroom. And in this classroom, there's these well-painted oil paintings on the walls. And each one is labeled with whatever they call the thing. But it is each one of these things that they show you are creatures that they have fought here, that they protect their land from. And when you first one you see that catches your eye is the one that you saw inside the tubes, or inside those canisters, and those were he calls those things King's Brood. They are King's Brood. Only the Elder Fey Kings bred these things. They're like their loyal hounds. They're usually were tied specifically to a Fey God King, and created from his blood. But you also then see the creatures he was speaking of, which an Elder Fey infected would be a humanoid who has been infected with Elder Fey blood and starts to become a monstrosity. And there's an image I just shared of that. Basically it's just a human who loses all humanity and becomes a tentacle-covered monster. An Elder Fey Reaper, which is a huge monster. These things do still exist out in these lands. His people have fought one in his lifetime. They're enormous, and it is a long and deadly. It was a long and deadly battle. And then you finally get to see what an Elder Fey overseer, what the slave masters overseers look like. Picture these. Now the Elder Fey Reaper was just this huge thing that looked like it was made of bone and tentacles with green plant-like, looks like a cloak almost, made of plants that covers its head and back. And then for the Elder Fae Overseers, they are more insect-like, except for they have a huge central eye in the center of their torso. And their head is this two-horned, looks like a ramming head. And they have 2 legs and 2 very insectile, multi-jointed arms. Pretty nasty looking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, they're shown to scale to stand about 8 feet tall. One of those does. The Elder Fae Reaper, that thing was enormous. It was bigger than the airship you guys usually fly around on. It was larger than that. And yeah, that's pretty much what he showed you.
I don't remember, but when we saw I guess they're called King's Brood, in the tubes, did they seem alive at all, or were they dead?
They were very dead.
Okay. Well, I'll mention how we saw tubes of them, and that whatever procedure that they did to make a remnant similar to him was using stuff from them.
Yeah, to basically reanimate the elves.
We suspect.
You say that out loud, reanimating elves?
Possibly.
Possibly.
We suspect, yes. We're not sure.
Elf reanimates. Well, interesting.
Mm.
He seems intrigued, but doesn't. Like something's there. Like he wants to say it, but he doesn't. Or he's maybe keeping something to himself.
Well, I have the notes on it. That were left over.
Mm.
I brought them with. They're in my.
May I see them?
Sure. Yeah, I grab one of my tomes of knowledge, and I have written in here notes on reanimating elves, and I'll go over them with them. So here's what I've found. This is what I've been able to kind of put together.
Xander keeps an eye on him on his facial features,
and I'll try and describe the lab as well as I could and understand the procedures that they potentially had went through, but not all. I mean, these aren't the complete notes, but it was what was kind of left over. But maybe I could talk to this lady you're sending us to go meet. She'll know more too.
I do not. I'm sure she will know more. This is disturbing images. This is her handwriting.
What?
This lady that you're sending us to, her handwriting? Really?
Yes.
So she did this.
I am afraid this may be the case, yes. I will accompany you myself.
Okay then.
Very well, Ramos.
We will take.
This sounds like you might need this for evidence. Maybe would you?
We
like
will be
these?
taking 5 of my warriors with us. Yes.
Very well.
Okay, I'll leave the paper. I'll leave this with him if he wants them as evidence, because I took it just for my personal. But if he needs that for some sort of evidence, it seems like we've stumbled in on maybe this is a legal matter that we don't quite want to get in the middle of.
Yes, some kind of conspiracy.
Am I inferring right? No.
You have an idea, yes.
Okay, I will. I'll leave these. I'm like, well, then maybe you could go ahead and hold on to those if you need to for your trial or whatever you might need. And I'll actually say that out loud and give him a smile.
Yes, if you need to enforce any laws that she may have broken. I do not know.
She was, well, he'll tell you en route. He says, prepare the flyers.
Okay.
So
Flying again. My God.
what you will be taking, and ignore the writer. What you will be
Before we
taking,
leave. Oh, okay. I'll ask him before we leave. You know, I had a couple of grenades confiscated. Oh, sorry. There's that whole rule about harming others. I'll leave that. I'll let you do what you need to. Sorry. Sorry, I got a little out of my skin there for a moment.
All right. Ignore the writer, but these flying fish will be your rides that you will be taking.
Cloud Koi.
Cloud Koi, yes.
Awesome.
And you will be taking them, and he has himself.
Wisp Koi.
He has one of those, but his warriors, the Wisp folk warriors that he has with him, which are full elemental. They're just they're not even amalgams. They're full elementals, but they live peacefully with the and they just fly.
Right, and they don't need those. All right.
Right. So 5 of his best warriors, himself, the group of you, all on these, all of you guys except for the 5 warriors on these fish mounts, fly the better part of the day.
For our listeners, those wisps look a little bit like genies, like the typical genie kind of body. So they don't have legs.
An image from Wizards of the Coast. They're air elemental myrmidon is what they are. If you want to look that up.
There you go. So yeah, they're definitely flying kind of creatures.
And he gives you a little bit of information on 10 years ago, a revenant woman was found lost in these lands. She was brought to Wisp and has been living peacefully amongst the people of Wisp for a decade. She didn't say where she came from. She seemed to have some form of amnesia, according to them. She was alone, lost in the islands, the air islands there. And they rescued her and brought her to Wisp. And her name is character. Yeah, Tony. Lady Ursula Chun.
All right.
And he said she's made a name for herself as a historian. She occasionally will take people to ruins of that can be found amongst the islands here. That can be found, many of them, not just the one you came from. There's many such islands, ruins here, and she takes people to them and gives tours for the locals that want, the Wisp folk that want to go. She scouts them. She has a group of men who work for her, whom are people she has encountered over time, other travelers that she has collected, and they all wear the same kind of outfit. And he describes them to you, and sure enough, by description, those are the Immortal Resurgence guys.
Gotcha.
So it would appear she is somehow pulling the wool over these guys' eyes and telling them one thing, and she has some other goal in mind that she is not telling them. In hindsight, I guess, would be.
Right.
And he describes her to you. She's definitely a revenant. She dresses conservatively, usually in hooded robes, and appears to be adept at the arcane arts.
And were these immortal resurgents the same ones that attacked us before we went through the portal?
Same guys. Similar. Now, of course, the Immortal Resurgence is a splintered organization with the common goal of wanting to bring back the power of the Elder Fae God Kings.
Gotcha.
Now,
All right.
they're usually fanatics. They usually hate it when other people mess with the Elder Fae God King's technologies, and will disrupt that, which is, like I said, in the last adventure that I ran, a group of them attacked a masquerade ball that you guys were at.
Right.
And hijacked a teleportation device.
Yes, that was fun.
Yeah, it was.
And that's pretty much all he tells you. But he does say that she has some. If she has been creating elven remnant, she has some explaining to do. Elven revenants. She has some explaining to do because that is strictly forbidden. The elves were extremely loyal to the monstrosities, as he calls them, which is what all the elemental folk here call the Elder Fae God Kings, were the monstrosities.
Yes, yeah, I understand. Yes.
Now, if you remember, the history of this world is that it was a blending after the huge war between the Elder Fae God Kings and the primordial lords that ruled the elemental planes. The two joined, the two realms of this land of Aura plus the elemental kingdoms, and that's why we have all these manifest zones all over the place. That's why we have amalgams who live here.
Joined in a crashing kind of way. Crashing together kind of way.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Joined and left over and damaged. Both worlds were conjoined together and damaged in some way. So any elemental is generally going to be very much, one who is raised in an elemental society is going to be very much against the monstrosities that once ruled these lands. And of course, most of the civilized folk nowadays don't understand that because they were slave races to the monstrosities before, the humans and dwarves and gnomes and elves, before the gnomes rebelled and the elves were killed off, only the dwarves escaping and small pockets of humans escaping. And now 10,000 years later, this is the society we have. So,
right.
For those who haven't listened to our shows about Primordial Machina before.
Right. Or I've listened, but it was a long time ago. So.
Yes. All right. So you guys get all this information from him as you're headed there. And the city that appears before you is this city in the clouds. White marble spires just rise up from the clouds as if they're not sitting on anything but the cloud. These spires are built in a circle. There are 8 of them, one facing each direction of wind, including the blended winds of northwest and southwest and east. So, those blended winds, 8 directions. The city itself sprawls below these towers, and it is definitely a city built by nomadic peoples. There is a huge tented market. Most of the homes are built of sandstone or marble, but they're not like, think Middle Eastern construction where they're on top of each other. They're just, some more people moved here, they built, and more people moved here and they built, and they just keep building on top of, and so there's multi-tiered housing, sandy streets where their little wisps of sand will just blow through, and it is just populated to the gills with air elemental folks and a few others, but mostly air elementals, and mostly they are the peaceful wisp folk. Now, you've seen wisp folk warriors, but the true wisp folk look like this.
Gotcha.
Very wispy.
And they're moving about their daily lives.
Good.
The fish, the flying fish that you were on, and you guys and the soldiers all head to what appears to be a corral for a bunch of these fish, and they spiral down, they fly, and you can leave them here as you guys will walk through the streets to a structure that appears to be a large building, and you can see they're posted up right outside that large building is an old, beat up, rusty machina with a huge cannon off its left shoulder. And given the size of it and the general design, those were definitely some of the prints you were tracking, were the prints of this vehicle.
Okay.
And looks like it might be the place then.
And mired to the side of this building is an airship that floats a couple 100 feet above it, but it is secured by a bunch of ropes and rope ladders to the building. And so that would be probably, they had parked their airship somewhere and you just never noticed any signs of them boarding an airship. You've lost their trail.
Possibly that's why.
All right, so what you see, like I said, this building before you is built of sandstone. It's got like an archway entrance to it, and it appears to be like a compound. It's got this machina, rusty old machina, sitting out front. Not even sure if there's anybody in it. But standing in the archway of the building are two men dressed as in the Bedouin robes of the Immortal Resurgence. And upon the sight of your group approaching, one of them departs and goes inside.
Oh. Right.
And you've got a couple of the wispy dudes. I'm trying to get some people onto a map here so I can keep track of who all's in this thing. And then that captain of the guard guy. Let's just grab this guy here.
Dramos.
I think I might have said Dramos, but it's Dramos Stormbender. So, all right, and he is on your side, so we'll put him in there.
Yes.
All right.
Alrighty.
All right. He approaches. He raises up his badge of office And the being in the doorway nods to him. They speak in the elemental tongue briefly. Zandra, of course, you understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And he tells them that you're here to speak to the Lady Chun, immediately.
Yes.
And the man kind of, she is indisposed at the moment. He tries to make a few excuses. The captain will have none of that.
Yes.
Does not accept,
make her disposed.
doesn't accept any answer other than no. She's here and we're going in. He doesn't accept anything other than that. And excuse me. He eventually this guard escorts you into these ornate stone garden. This garden. It's an outer wall of this building. There's a couple of doors on the side. As you walk through the archway, there's doors, and then there's an inner wall. So there's obviously rooms between the wall, between the outer wall and the inner wall. And it encircles this compound. The center of this compound is this ornate stone garden with sand all through it, stones placed in specific orders, and you see several relics of the city that you were in are placed in the sands here. And this is obviously where she teaches people about the ruins that she takes them to and whatnot.
Yep.
And at the back of the place, another staircase rises up to a pair of double doors, and he leads you there. And
can I do a quick assessment of the ruins that she picked that are in this central area, to maybe pull on why she may have chosen these specifically? Maybe there's a hidden meaning behind them. And I'm going to use my museum worthy talent where I can make a hard knowledge check to ascertain information regarding a relic, ruin, or piece of history, and kind of apply that to this group.
Okay.
If possible.
Yeah.
And I would think, would that be, do you want a hidden or do you want a history?
There's information in both. Hidden will be a
Let's
little
do
bit
hidden.
more difficult.
Let's do hidden. Well,
All right.
this is a hard check, so it doesn't matter what knowledge check, but it's hard.
Right.
So I'm gonna do hidden.
Okay. Do you have your pool built?
Getting there. Hidden. Boom, boom, boom. I don't think I get any bonuses related to that. Nope.
So
that looks good.
You're trying to find the logic behind what she picked, right?
Yes. Potentially, yeah, the logic. If there is a connection between them where she can basically activate them and teleport out of here or anything related to that kind of thing, right? That's hidden meaning behind why she may have chosen these specific, if there's a specific meaning behind the one she chose.
You're walking through quickly, so you don't have a lot of time to study. So due to the time crunch, throw in setback die. And secondly, you aren't able to do close inspections of anything. It's just cursory from a distance, some of the items.
Are we going upstairs so I could get a look down, or is it just kind of eye view?
Most of it is eyeball view from your level, and then as you go up the stairs to enter into what appears to be her private sanctum,
I could take a glance down.
You can glance down.
That's what I was kind of looking at. Okay, so setback die for the speed, another setback die for the cursory.
Yeah.
Glance. All right. Well, I do have a knack for it, so I'll remove those.
Oh, okay.
Woo.
And are you doing anything else with your pool?
I'm pretty happy with it. That's 3 yellow, a green, and 3 purple.
Likewise,
How about
so
you?
am I. Go ahead.
You're good with it? All right, let's see here. Come on, baby. This is a 1 per session. Yes! I get 1 simple success and 2 advantage.
All right. So the objects chosen for this display all portray the laws of and society of the Elder Fae in a historical light, but also in a positive light.
Okay.
They're chosen for propaganda reasons, possibly for recruiting.
Understood. Okay.
She obviously was trying to cultivate youth here because she's always taking youth out to the ruins, young amalgams and wisp folk who wished to know what was here before. She was a woman, a learned woman. She is a learned woman. And she obviously chose the stuff she chose as it seems like simple teaching methods, but when taken in its entirety in context, nothing here tells the truth of the slavery and tortures that humanity and the other races suffered under the Fae God Kings.
Gotcha. That's what I get from the success.
Single success.
The single success. Okay. Okay.
It's all like stone tablets with writing on them.
Yep. Yeah.
And you even see some of the bloodline tablets from the city that you guys investigated.
Okay.
The ones with
all
the
right.
pinprick.
Yep. Maybe that's my
written
advantage.
in Elven script.
Maybe that's the advantage that I got. Right.
Yeah, they've been opened and are readable from here. You pass, just look if you want. 2 of them, 2 advantage.
Yeah. I'll do a speed read on one of them or whatever.
Yeah, you probably speed read at your age.
Or I'll just wait. Or I'll just read it, and when they're
stop
like,
and read
Richter,
it.
yes, stop and read it, and they'll be like, Richter, come on, it doesn't matter.
Okay. The bloodline that is listed here as being given to the 3rd house, this bloodline rank over that of the other elves, the overseers of the coin, and it lists that family name. And where you recognize seeing that family name before, it was one that was written in the notes from the reanimate chamber.
Oh.
As the blood ingredient.
Oh.
So obviously these people were bankers or masters of coin for that elven society.
Right.
Oh yeah, dude, and so they can so this one that she probably reanimated can open up the vaults. I like the thinking about this woman, man. I'm greedy bastard, man. I like the finer things in life, man. Richter Coffee. He likes finer things. Okay.
Okay, and you do notice, so as you guys enter the building, 2 of the air amalgams or 3 of the air not amalgams, 3 of the Wisp Folk warriors that they stay outside and watch the Machina.
Got it. Okay.
Only 2 follow you guys and the captain.
Right.
Okay. All right, so you come to these large wooden double doors, and he pushes them open, and At the far end of this hall is a woman, but she's not a woman, standing there in full, battle dress.
I'll be coming in last because I was reading the tablet.
Yeah, she's expecting trouble.
Maybe.
Come on. Image sharing is going slow. You guys get that yet?
What? That'd be a no.
Exactly.
Oh, there it goes.
There she is.
Oh my.
That is her.
Sting, yes.
And standing in various places about the room are a couple of these guys.
Ah.
So again, the Bedouin outfit of the Immortal Resurgence, with those really nasty looking spears that they wield.
Yep.
And her, she has definite elven features. You've seen Elven Dead. She has definite elven features. She's not human. She is an elven revenant herself.
Oh,
you
she
spot
is.
that right away.
This is
She is
Ursula
wearing
Chun.
Yep, Ursula Chun. She is a revenant. She is an elven revenant. Can't see her pointed ears, but you recognize it right from the get-go.
Right.
You've just been around an entire city with elven corpses in it.
Yeah.
The bone work on her face is that of an elf, for sure.
Right.
Yep.
All right.
Right.
Zandra just.
Do all of us notice that she's elven, or is it just Richter?
Just appears to be the three of you notice. It doesn't appear to be the captain notices.
Zandra just opens up her coat and just make sure that her or the handles of Roman and Remus are visible. Puts her fingers in her belt.
Everyone make a
Ready?
vigilance check.
Is this initiative?
This is not initiative. This is to notice
This is round 0.
quick details about the chamber.
Right. Difficulty?
There is going to be. I'm checking the highest difficulty of. Looks like it is 1 purple, 1 red.
Right.
You know what? I'm not going to roll because I'm coming in last.
Okay.
Okay. Very well then.
Her
And you don't
hunting
have to
belt.
make it if you don't want to. If you don't want any but it's to notice a couple of hidden details before
All right.
things kick off here.
All right. So
I think
I'm
I
happy
would be-
with my roll.
I think I'd be kind of distracted in my mind of what I'm kind of processing from downstairs. You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't. I fail with two failure, but an advantage.
2 failures and an advantage. All right.
All right, so
Maybe
you failed
I'll
to notice
choose-
any of the details that I have on my list.
No, but I may be. I'm pointing to a few things. Perhaps there may not be important, but I give a boost to old 77 if he wants to make a check.
Go
Maybe
ahead.
that helps him. Notice a few other things.
Does this pool look correct?
What's the setback dice for?
I don't know why I put those in there. Double click them, Sean. Don't right click, double click.
2 setback days.
Click, click. There you go.
It's being very laggy. I had to close that map down because that was making it worse. So
That might be why I'm having some of the issues. Our internet's a little slowed down on our end, so
Hmm.
apologies, folks.
all right, that look good.
Looks great to me.
Yeah, well,
3 advantage, no success.
no.
My difficulty dice rolled up blank.
Yeah.
But you only ever roll advantage, so
Yeah.
good job, Daryl. All right.
There was no despair, at least.
All right, so you don't notice anyone other than her
All
down
right.
at the far end there. So from across this vast hall, and there, like I said, there's wooden pillars. Think kind of like it's a meeting hall, but there's a balcony and a couple of spots where you could look down from a second floor. It's a heavy, tall ceiling that's about 30 feet up. These wooden pillars that rise up to keep the ceiling up they're spaced about 10 feet apart, and there are 6 of them on either side of the path that leads through the center of the hall. At her end, she's got on the wall, it's almost like she's been using this as a teaching place to teach. There's a chalkboard, a large desk. Very much, you've seen lecture halls before. This has kind of a lecture hall look to it at the front where she is. She's standing at that desk and looking at you all, but she is in what looks like battle dress.
Right.
What kind of check would it be for me to whisper something to the guard captain?
No one's within earshot, so it would be a very easy stealth check to say something undetected.
So
easy is 1 purple. Yes.
Okay. Look good.
Yep.
Oh.
2 success and a triumph.
All right. I whisper to him. I do believe she is an elf revenant, from what I can tell, and I think the other 2 can agree with that. Also, are we allowed to use our pistols here?
You are allowed to defend yourselves against these.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Any more to words of Jane? Boy, it'd be nice if we had some grenades. Sorry.
Just saying.
Just saying.
2 success and a triumph on that stealth check to survey information over.
Right. So, triumph. You have anything you want to do with it, or you want me to take it?
I stealthily quick drawed my pistol already, or what's your idea, Chris?
He's got my grenades. Not to be selfish or anything, triumph or anything like that, but I do like your idea of you just having your gun, your pistol drawn already.
Drawn
as you ask. Just kind of just have it at the ready,
Stealthily
having it up.
drawn
Have it already out.
Nobody noticing, because I have quick draw, and that was a triumph on a stealth. So
yeah.
And she's well. He yells. So as you approach, he yells out, "Lady Chun, attend me! You stand accused."
J'accuse.
And she goes, "Accused of what?" "Accused of conspiring against the people of Wisp, creating elven revenant."
Abominations.
And she goes, "And who are my accusers? This riffraff? I've lived amongst you people for a decade. Have I not followed your laws?"
Yet you have hidden your actual heritage of elvenship. Why is that? You know how they feel about such things.
Playing that hand early. All right, free upgrade. Please give me a... that would be an intimidation check.
Yeah, coercion.
Coercion.
Oops. Come on. All right. Doop. And free upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
And yes.
Open up her stat block.
Yep.
That's opposed. Coercion is opposed by discipline, and she has a willpower of 4, but no discipline ranks, so 4 difficulty.
All right.
So is this a social encounter then?
It
Like
is
it
thus
is
far.
revealed?
No one has pulled
So
any weapons
far.
or shot anything.
No, but she has her hands on her pistols, so she gets a free advantage due to the bone handles.
Nice.
Believe me, don't think you want to start a fight with some of the best crew of the Golden Shard Adventuring Company.
Name dropping for the win, baby. It's got to be worth the boost die, right, Stefan? Come on.
I think so. If
you're not going to ask for it.
Go
maybe
ahead.
a little bit of her memory comes back. It's like, oh yeah, I heard about them.
Go ahead.
All right. That look good to you?
Uh-huh.
All right. Yeah, good to me. Booyah.
Oh, all
Two
right.
successes and a threat.
All right. So she will take 2 strain. Your threat is you will also take a strain.
Yeah. Still an elf revenant.
And one who appears to be, you heard, was a nasty spellcaster.
Mm-hmm.
So let me actually put her in the combat tracker.
I thought she was.
Now, she's not.
Oh, no. Oh.
So that way, everybody who could potentially, we'll just kind of continue in the player, or if you guys don't want to say anything, let her respond, so on and so forth. But we'll just continue with that. For now, it's social. And this is as you're approaching,
Right.
you're still walking up. And
Yes.
so she says, Golden Shard? Oh, a few grave robbers. You're taking their word.
We have never stolen anything from graves. Recently.
Let's count it as a social deception, because the captain looks at you two, looks at you three, and again gives you that look of, you've been accused of being grave robbers here. And he's looking you up and down. Now you do recall you have pilfered a bunch of stuff from the Elven Ruins. Last session you brought some riches with you.
Oh yeah,
and it is on your person.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I have loots of Elven Ruins, thousands of dollars worth. Heck
Would
yeah.
one of you please make a deception roll?
I'm skilled at deception.
Because I can hear the perfect answer. Richter's going to shout it, but
I'll do the deception.
All right, go ahead.
It's one of the few skills I'm very adept with.
All right, I will assist. Who's dice?
Well, you already had your coercion check, so
right,
let him.
fair.
That's why I was
Yep.
asking for one of the other two to maybe try.
Right.
They're the ones
Sorry.
carrying all this stuff.
Right, sorry.
Yeah, we are.
We're the greedy.
Fair enough.
Difficulty?
It is going to be as opposed with keeping the captain on your side, so it's going to be his vigilance, which will be difficulty is 3, his willpower.
I'd probably be keeping these riches hidden inside my hidden storage. Can I get a boost? Because I don't have any visible riches on me.
Yes.
Says the GM reluctantly.
Mhm.
Really laggy. There we go. Okay. Does this pool look good to you?
No.
Finally, a
Doesn't.
story point is spent.
GM has to kick it off and spend a story point because you guys had a lot of stuff. And while you say you've got it in your hidden compartments, Richter's kind of just carrying it all in his backpack.
Yeah. His bulging backpack.
Which is just clattering with the stuff.
A shoulder bag.
Yeah, shoulder bag.
Yeah,
that's from another tomb. Totally
it's my Jack Bauer bag of holding, man. Come on. Right.
All right. I'm okay with your check now, Sean, if you'd like.
Oh shit.
3 successes and a despair.
Uh-oh.
So the way I can see this going is the stuff that my friend the professor here has is for academic purposes. He wishes to bring it back to a university to show it off.
He shouts, "It belongs in a museum!"
We were not robbing graves. We were simply doing it for academic purposes.
Accumulating knowledge, apparently.
Okay. You seem to have convinced him, however, with your despair that you rolled. You have 3 successes. So I'm going to apply that as 3 strain to her because you're really trying to get her to crack.
Right.
And right now the captain is kind of
leery,
looking at the stuff that you have now a little more closely. And maybe he senses you're not being 100% truthful. But doesn't disbelieve that the things that he has are for a museum.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He believes your lie. However, he doesn't believe you're telling the whole truth.
No.
He knows I'm telling he thinks I'm telling some of the truth, just not all of
it. At least we were not trying to animate elves.
All right, let's go ahead and actually roll initiative for this social encounter because I kind of feel we need it from here on out. But Chris, you will get to go in this round also.
Okay.
So why don't we do that first, actually, before we roll initiative?
Right.
What does Richter want to add to this? How do you want to approach the situation socially?
He walks into the tense situation.
As I walk into the room, seeing a fellow revenant, I don't have the presence for charm, but I'm going to try and charm the hell out of her, letting her know and complimenting her on her display downstairs.
Okay. So charm is opposed by cool, and hers is 2 red, 2 purple.
Ooh.
Oh, against my 1 green. Totally got this. I totally got this, which I'm going to actually spend a story point on this.
I'll give you a boost die for your invoking the display outside in your statement. So you're stroking to her, basically to her, one of her motivations.
I'm thinking so. That's what I want to pull. That's what I kind of want to pull on, yeah.
You're pulling on one of her motivations, whether you know it or not. So I'm going to give you a boost die.
Okay. I don't think I have a skill that'll help with this.
Or talent, you mean?
Oh, yep. I'm going to actually use applied research.
I knew it.
Character may use this talent before making a check to use any knowledge, skill, and intellect instead of the skill and characteristic the check would normally require. May use this talent a number of times per session. 1 time. So use it. So it's going to be charm. So I'm going to charm her with it, but I'm going to throw out all the knowledge, and I'm going to do it at the hidden. Right? Roll.
Okay, so apply the extra dice per your
somebody's hidden
knowledge
again.
hidden. Yep.
So it's that. Okay. So it'll basically be that.
And your boost die.
And then the boost die. And just basically let her know that I'm very impressed with it. And and I'm also gonna say, and I'm also gonna tell her, just to add fuel to the fire here. Pun intended. Standing next to Zszree.
Yes. Yes, I see what you did there.
Yeah, you like this. And I particularly enjoy it's the nice touch leaving out some pertinent information as well. It's clear to me now, seeing why seeing you. And I don't give out exactly what that is.
Don't forget
because
you spent a GM
nobody else here understands what I'm talking about. Basically, she left out all the slavery stuff. Right? But I don't actually say that, but I imply it to her. Hopefully she'll catch on it. So what did you say, Sean?
Don't forget you spent a GM point to upgrade your roll.
No, I didn't.
No.
I did.
Chris spent one.
There we go.
Okay, so before he did his knowledge thing.
Yep. That goes from one green. That goes from 1 green to 4 yellow. Yay! Okay.
I'm okay with it. Roll it up.
Here we go. My gosh.
There we go.
Awesome. Okay, so that's 2 successes.
So
3
that'll be 2
threat,
additional strain.
And 5, or actually, and a triumph. So yeah. I would like to. So 2 strain. I would like to critically hit her in the gut.
Ooh,
socially,
remark.
Right, with that remark where she knows exactly what I'm talking about, in that she specifically left out the slavery part in her
and torture.
What are you talking about?
And her curriculum.
I let her know, because the way that I phrased this, now me being Chris, I don't have a good way of phrasing it, but Richter totally does. She completely understands that Richter knows the propaganda. She specifically left out slavery, how the elves enslaved the people, and that is what she is doing. He is onto her, and that's why she's getting 5 extra strain.
Right, so she has currently 9 strain. You guys have inflicted 9 strain to her. Okay. Your 3 threat.
Yeah.
You see movement on one of the balconies in the shadows, and it's archers.
Oh.
Take 3 strain of your own.
Okay. Can I let the captain know?
For your next social interaction, if you'd like, yes. Now let's roll up the initiative.
Okay, so you want 3 strain to me. Got it.
Right. Initiative.
Okay.
Cool or vigilance for this?
Vigilance.
Vigilance, probably.
And mine did not take for some reason.
Didn't see roll. Does it show rolls for you?
I don't know if it does or not.
Sure. I think it should be. It should roll.
It did. I don't see your roll.
Yeah.
Or you just typed it in.
No, I rolled them. They just didn't show up, but whatever.
Gotcha.
All right. So the way this is going to go, this is still a social encounter. Could very quickly devolve into a combat encounter. I'm ready for that. First is a player slot, followed by 2 NPC slots. Now, the captain here is still considered somewhat on your side, though he's still trying to get to the heart of things. He's not necessarily an opponent as of right now.
Second. We'll have him go take the second GM slot, right?
Mm.
Doesn't have to take.
No, he doesn't have to take first. And then, of course, there's 2 player slots.
Okay.
Now, on his turn, a lot of he may be questioning either you or her. If he's targeting her, she'll get the strain. If he's targeting you guys, you'll get the strain.
Right.
So, as a neutral party, he's trying to just get to the heart of things.
Okay.
So, Let's do
Chris?
this.
Yeah, Chris, you want to go first?
You want me? Well, I could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wanted
You know
to.
what? You know what? I will, and I'm going to use coercion, and say you might want to call them off, this is when I call out to Dramos that there are archers moving into position.
Okay. Coercion, and that is versus her willpower, which is 4.
4. Okay. I had nothing to help myself with that, so and I'll use this. I'm going to use another story point. That look good?
Mm-hmm.
2 yellow, 4 purple gives us 2 more. Oh man, stressing myself out. So 2 successes, 3 more strain.
You mean 2 advantage?
No, 3 threat.
I'm not scrolled all the way to the bottom. I'm an idiot.
2 successes, 3 threat.
All right, so she's at 11 strain, and you've got 3 threat. And with that, he kind of looks at what you pointed at, the captain.
Mm-hmm.
His hand goes to his side, and you see the lightning kind of crackle off of his hand, a little bit, and her turn. She says, "My disciples come and go as they please. They're not here to cause trouble. They only are curious."
What do you want with the 3 threat? Oh, sorry.
She's going to get boost dice to her deception check.
Got it.
So she is attempting a deception check. They're just curious students coming out to take a look.
Right.
And it'll be versus the captain's discipline, which was 3 willpower, and she's taking 2 boost dice. 1 to her specifically. That's worth 2 of your threat, and then 1 to the next NPC slot to go.
Right.
Which is worth 1.
She's doing deception?
Yes.
It's his vigilance.
It's his vigilance. Sorry, yeah, which is actually his willpower. He doesn't have any ranks in vigilance.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Sorry, I said discipline, did I? I meant vigilance, but it's all willpower stat. But that is her roll. I'm going to spend a GM story point.
I think we're going to spend a GM point as well.
Well,
player story?
A player story.
Yeah, player point.
Mm-hmm.
Both you and Sean have now called them all GM story points. You can give them all to me if you guys want.
1 story point. No. Spend a story point.
He's an American GM, man. We don't want to give him any more.
All right, so I was going to say her reason for upgrade was because when she kind of does that, she waves her hand as dismissively, and one of them steps back into the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, but I spend 1 because they still have their bows drawn. It's those who are still there.
Roger that. Okay, here comes my roll. Oh God!
2 more
failed check.
2 more strain. Woohoo! On her.
No, it's just 1 per
1 strain. That's right.
1 for a failed
1
check.
per failure. That's right. Nice.
So
stressing her out.
Yeah, he says, "I believe that not for a minute, lady. I've seen your warriors. They defend you faithfully in the wilds, and I expect no less from them here. Call them off." And he will be using a coercion check on her.
Like coercion or leadership? Sounds almost like he's commanding her.
Okay, we'll use it as leadership. He's better at that.
There you go.
That sounds like a command to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
He is a captain.
He's using his captain countenance.
Yes, his military or
This is her discipline.
authority. You will respect my authority.
I'll give the fact that he brought troops with him gives him a boost die to that.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And since it's both NPCs, it behooves me to spend that story point for her, not for him.
Mhm.
She will. She has a plan if he
Botches.
back. Yeah. Spare. So we'll see. All right. So he failed with a triumph and a threat. So while she's like, men,
Yeah.
please, just go about your business. Go to your studies. I can handle this. This is just a misunderstanding, she says to them. Her casual demeanor kind of puts off the captain. He'll have a setback die on his next. That's the threat.
Mhm.
And the triumph, of course, scores a critical. Now she feels a little bit more strained because her
Troops
most
are gone.
reliable fanatical backup is not in the room. So.
Yep. 5 more. Woohoo.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys can see her strain tracker. But
No.
No,
she's
we
got
cannot.
17.
Nice.
She's nearing her maximum.
Mhm. Hopefully it's going towards your maximum. That would have totally taken me out already.
Mhm.
And that was Dramos. Okay, the other 2 players, you guys can now pipe in as kind of
Alright.
maybe score some extra
I had an
social
idea.
wounds to her.
Do it.
So I'll go
Zandra.
next. Zandra. Oh, come on. Click on there. What was the place that we before we teleported went through the portal? The sands.
The Shifting Sands.
Shifting sands. All right. So Zandra moves a little bit closer. Backing up the captain. Yes. Send your lackeys back to the shifting sands, where they continue to spread their lies about how great the elven kings were, glossing over the fact that they enslaved and tortured people.
Okay.
Trying to scare her even more.
Sounds like another coercion check.
Yep.
Difficulty is going to be her
Holy.
discipline, which is 4.
All right. There we go. And I will spend a story point.
Yes. By mentioning the Shifting Sands, you feel like you have an upper hand. However,
Something. Yes,
you
but
also don't. I know something you don't know. So go ahead and upgrade that.
not a problem. All right. Let's go. Oh.
You too will take strain.
Failed
So
with
you
the
take
one
additional
threat.
you take 1 strain for a failed check. And the
Mhm.
threat is the next player will have a setback die because she just is grinning and she
Yeah.
goes, "Where?"
Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't remember that.
No, honestly, plausible deniability there. She had nothing to do with that. That was a different
Yeah.
splinter group. That's why I said
True.
I knew something you didn't know.
True.
That's great.
True, but the captain didn't know that either. So,
Right.
but anyway, all right.
Old 77, you're shot. What are you going to fire off? Words.
It's a hard one. I don't know. I'm trying to think of my good social skills.
Well, think outside the box. So you've got her on her heels. If this was a combatant that you were fighting in combat, would you let up?
No.
No. So perhaps more coercion, whether you're better at it or not. Insults and things like that. throw her off guard and get her to snap and, you know, reveal something.
Yeah, some of the advantages or triumphs can be used to learn a desire or fear or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna go through deception and basically point out the fact that we simply came in here for a talk, and yet she's there in full battle garment and calling her lackeys to defend her. She's trying to instigate a fight, essentially.
That sounds like coercion, Sean.
A deception. Yeah. Well, I'm like to saying that deception saying she's trying to instigate the fight. We simply came here for a chat. She's the one trying to cause the issue.
Oh, okay, I get it. All right, I'll let you frame it that way. Sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw 2 setback die on it though, because it's not.
Yeah.
I've got a knack for it, so fuck that setback die.
All right.
Awesome.
I still will get the 1 setback die from Zandra's failed check, but it's not going to be 3 like it was. So what's the difficulty going to be?
So knack for bullshit.
Deception is versus her vigilance, which that's hard for me to say. Look out. Here we go. Her vigilance is 4. It's willpower based.
Okay.
No ranks in it.
Spend a point and upgrade, which will put me at 3 yellow, 1 green. And I like the way the pool looks.
I don't.
What?
You're standing there with a loaded pistol in your hand, and
No
you're
one's
saying
noticed
she's
it
the
yet.
Instigator. Exactly. That's the upgrade reason. If you roll despair, everyone's going to notice your pistol is in hand. You're calling somebody else an instigator.
Or it goes off.
Oh.
Oh, whoops. I pointed to the wrong hand.
Yeah, you.
Alright, let's...
Well, both are metal, so, you know.
Oh, 1 failure, 2 advantage.
So failure, you take strain.
Okay, 2 advantage. They still don't notice I have my pistol in my hand.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. No one notices that. All right. So at the end of this kind of second round of the social, she appears to be amenable to just maybe solving the problem with the captain of the guard. She says to him at the end of that round, she's like, "Look, there has to be a misunderstanding. I may have done some things that are questionable, but I've certainly not harmed any of your citizens, and I mean them no harm at all. I'm the honored guest of your people, and I wish to maintain that status. Can we just talk?" So she's starting to kind of capitulate a little bit.
All right.
And so we go to the top for the next round. Which player takes the first slot?
And anyone want to go first?
I have an idea.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. So I'm going to go up to the captain. This is going to be coercion. And I'm going to ask the captain out loud. And of course, this is going to go against her willpower, of course. I'm going to say, so Captain, what kind of laws do you have here against recruiting young folk for the purposes of potential rebellions and, you know, cultish activities or brainwashing, those kinds of things?
Throw a boost die in there.
Okay. And I'm going to spend a story point.
Because you're the only one who really, you're the only one who knows about this.
And I kind of do that, and I give her a wink as I do it. I'm looking at him, and I'm look at her right in the eye, and I just kind of and he just kind of winks at her like, yeah, I know what you're doing.
You're using the 2 fingers towards your eyes and towards her.
Pretty much.
As is,
All right.
roll it.
All right. Come on, baby. There's 2 yellow, a blue, and 4 purple. Come on, baby. Oh, failure and a advantage. Darn it.
Lots of failures on our end.
Well,
that's another
I'm
failed check.
I'm not a social dude, but I'm gonna. You know what? I would like to give the captain a boost die for that because I gave him a little bit more, and give him a boost die in his check since he's gonna be technically going next for us. You know what I mean? With the 1 advantage. So that's it. Oh, they do that.
Okay. She will be taking the next slot.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "Feel free, Captain. Have your men search my facility. I am at your disposal. If you feel I've done something wrong, committed some crime, search for your evidence. I have nothing to hide." And she's being very charming to him. So, versus his cool, which will be for him. Cool is so many damn windows open.
Presence-based, yeah.
Presence-based. Oh, sweet. So he has 2 ranks in it also. So that's 1 purple, 2 red.
Not bad.
Okay. And, however, she does get, when using charm, she gets this. Once per session, she can spend a story point. Oh, to reroll if she fails. So, sweet. She'll just immediately spend story point or reroll that.
Oh, the 3 failures and 4 advantage.
Yeah, 4 advantage.
So, back to the original pool,
Mm-hmm.
as is, and here goes. Just a single success.
1 success.
Hits him for 1 more strain.
All right, so the particularly Richter, your little ploy there, take a strain.
Oh, mine? Okay.
Yeah, because your little ploy, the captain is like, oh, well, she's being reasonable. See?
Right.
She's obviously not as dark a criminal as you're making her out to be. Perhaps a petty crime is. That's his kind of thought process there.
Yeah.
That you see roll across his face there. So, and for him, he says, "Yes, men, fan out. Take a look around." He says to his 2 guards behind. And
okay. Yeah. I smile at her because I know she has nothing. They're not going to find anything because that's the point. She's leaving something out. It's awesome. Well played.
Yeah, you can't prove it. You can't prove it
When he
negative.
commands his men to search, you know that they're not searching. So his check now also targets you guys. If you notice, his checks kind of go back and forth. So if you'd rather move that boost die to the next player to go, say he's technically targeting you, and I don't think it's fair that you gave him a boost die.
I didn't know he was targeting us.
Well,
if he was targeting us, then I'd like you to roll a setback die on her then.
He's just trying to charm. He's going to now charm you guys and say, look, this is obviously some sort of misunderstanding. Perhaps you've been misinformed or you read those signs.
If it was going to be, Tony, if it was going to be a negative on us, I would have given her a setback die. So
her a setback die?
Yeah.
She has a threat.
So I'll give her a strain.
Okay.
Another strain then.
Very well then.
Yeah.
All right. She will take her strain. Gulp. All right. So now he is trying to charm you and say, look, I mean, maybe you just read things wrong. While those notes were her handwriting, perhaps that's something she was making notes on something that she found and that you misinterpreted what you saw. He's just trying to charm you.
And I look at her. I look at
Or would
her.
that be negotiation?
I smile. I smile, and I
Maybe
look at her.
negotiation.
I'm like, I look at her and I smile, and I'm like, no, I read everything perfectly fine. Not on those
Right.
notes, but
That sounds more like negotiation. He's just trying to negotiate with you to be a little bit more, open-minded, I think. And so what's your negotiation, Chris? Because that's what it's opposed by.
Presence-based.
A 1 purple.
Okay. So there is his check. Would you like to affect it?
Nah, that's fine. That was good.
He'll give you another strain. You're like, I think you think you might be losing him on your side, which now the room's starting to look a little bit more like overwhelming odds against you. Little nervous, but you have an advantage. You have 1 success, and
what's the advantage? Well,
He
is
had
that
one
advantage? He had one
He had
advantage.
one advantage. With his 1 advantage, he is going to. She is going to. No, because he's working kind of for. See, he's kind of going back and forth.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not quite getting this. I don't know. Can we use the advantage on our side or no? Or not?
It's
Well, it
his
was used-
advantage.
Yeah,
It's
it
his
was
advantage.
against us. So
It's against us, so this is going to be a negative to us then.
Whomever he is not against next turn will get a boost die from him. Someone, whether based on next turn.
Hmm.
I think. We'll figure it out. We've got a floating boost die out there for you or her, depending on how he is leaning at the end of your other 2 players.
or a possible setback dice.
Right. It could be.
Appropriate.
All right. So the other 2 players may pipe in.
All right.
This is where you guys kick her ass, because there's 3 of you versus her, and this guy's also waffling back and forth with his.
But I think you're dealing with 2 combat characters
I know, it's great.
and 1 historian.
But this combat character has some presence and some skills and social skills.
As do I. But
And the other one is a
thing
freaking perfect
thing
liar.
is, I'm a thief. I'm a liar. I'm great
Yeah.
at deceiving and doing all that.
Then,
I'm not good at the other part.
then we're sucking at this game.
All right, let's do this. Come on.
We almost got her
All right.
down. Come on,
You almost do.
I have an idea.
let's-
I have an
okay.
idea, but I'll let you
Go
go
for it.
first.
Yeah. Well, if you have a better idea, let me.
If you have an idea,
I'm still
go ahead.
thinking about mine.
Go,
Yeah,
Sean.
go ahead.
Go, buddy.
Well, he
Come
told his guards to start fan out and start searching around. I was going to use skullduggery to plant some evidence against her. It works
But
in our
that's-
favor.
But skullduggery isn't a social skill.
Yeah, that's not a social skill, Sean.
If that's not, then it was just a thought.
Well, it's a good thought.
Usually I'm pretty cool with it and would just increase difficulties, but in this case you've got, there's guards, there's him, everybody's watching you.
Yeah.
There's not really any, you've not fully approached. You're still, you went, as you've been approaching this whole time, this round by round, you've moved 10 feet closer. You're now like 20 feet from her desk, so to speak. So you're not like, you can't just like plant it on her where he can see it,
Yeah. All right.
So
Well,
try some other method there.
or maybe
Okay.
I'll go. Or do you want me to
Yeah.
go? Or-
Yeah, go ahead. I got to figure out what I'm doing then.
All right, I'll go. Zszree keeps moving forward towards her lectern podium. It's like, well, again, you seem to be able to turn your words maybe against us, or charm the captain here with your honeyed persuasion. But still, I have to wonder, why are you decked out in battle when you have nothing to hide? I think you do have something to hide, and perhaps that is why you're prepared for combat. You're afraid at what we might reveal. Still coercing her to make a mistake.
Okay, coercion.
Or her. I know it's still her will of 4, so go. I will spend a story point. to upgrade. Because, still, it irks her that foes like she's pretending to be all scholarly, but she's wearing armor. And she's an elf. Does that look good to you?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it.
Oh,
There
all
we
right.
go. A success and 2 advantage.
All right. What do you want to do with your 2 advantage?
Well, I'm going to this time use a little bit of the social encounter things with 2, maybe learn one of her strengths or flaws.
Her strength is subtlety.
Hmm.
She relies on her guile and subtlety to accomplish her goals.
Right.
That is her strength.
Right. So, while saying all of that, it's like, yes, while you are skilled at manipulating and subtly warping the minds of young people, it seems to your point of view, your skewed point of view.
Okay, old 77.
Guess it's the time to crack out the not so good charm, if it'll let me work. There we go.
Okay. Charm is opposed by a cool. Hers is 2 red, 2 purple.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting.
Chris could roll this and he could succeed at it.
Yeah, I know.
You could have 4 positive
yellow
dice
green.
and 1 negative and roll all advantage, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy buckets.
So you're going to try and say something charming. You want to wait until after you see your die results to see what you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does this? I'm gonna spend 1 to upgrade because
I feel you have enough challenge here. I do not wish to challenge you further.
I'd like to
You don't
have.
want to give him a third red?
No.
I don't have anything to do with charm, do I? No.
You have a dapper hat. Look
Oh.
at you! You rolled 2
Holy
successes.
fuck!
And
Yay!
that puts her
6
to her.
threat.
That puts her over her 21 strain threshold.
There we go.
Nice.
All right.
But
Okay.
you rolled 6 threat, though.
Here's I've got if I can do this, I have an idea of what I say and what that threat is.
Okay.
Cool. What is it?
I turn to the captain. Come now. Tell me you cannot see through the ruse of her allowing you to search through her premise when she knows there's nothing for her to give to you. Just arrest her already. And when I say just arrest her already, I point at her with the hand that I had the gun
With your
out,
gun
and
out?
he notices that I had my gun drawn. That
That's excellent, Sean. All right.
Oh, that's perfect.
Because you guys won the social encounter, we now go into the combat encounter, and she will spend the first round of the combat encounter monologuing about her master plan, because her flaw is she's a monologuer. So that was what the whole social encounter is for. So let's kick this off. So, and also because you guys pushed her and did so well, none of you got below half your strain, except for, old 77.
Richter got below half.
77 only took 1 strain at
Richter.
first.
Richter
at
got
first.
below half.
Oh, okay.
Am I taking?
Only one of you.
I
I was going to give you
strain for
7,
those threat?
and we're going to clear all strain from the social encounter before we start this.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So,
Yeah, Richter got 6 of 11 strain. So
yeah, well, you guys, yeah.
not bad for having 1 rank in all my social skills.
See, I knew you guys had it. You were complaining. I knew you guys had it. Of course, I knew what her strain threshold was. You didn't.
Yeah.
No. Bill. All right.
So let me
we
toss
keep
the rest of them in
initiative?
the combat tracker. Do we want to pause down for a quick and take a
We can, yeah.
these? Okay. All right, so we pre-rolled our initiative. What we've got here is 2 player slots, 1, 2, 3, 4 NPC slots. Now, some of those are NPCs on your side. A player slot and a last NPC slot. As I promised, she failed the social encounter, so she spends the very first round monologuing. So prepare for her to take the last slot as she talks the entire round through everyone else's actions about her master plan and how she was so subtle. 10 years she built this academy, training, and so on and so forth.
I'm on to her. On to you, bitch.
And also because the 2 Wisp folk guardians rolled a triumph in their check. As minions, I just used that for them to quickly come together and turn back to back to defend each other. So they used a maneuver with their triumph.
Right.
So here we go. Kick it off. First player slot, combat round 1.
Right.
What do you guys go for it?
All right. Sandra will go, being fiery tempered and quick.
Quick draw, McGraw. Get him.
Yep. Well, she draws, of course, both pistols, both revolvers, Roman and Remus, and will aim at each of the 2 resurgent warriors flanking Ursula.
Oh, okay.
All right. So that means combat check there. Are they at short range for medium range from us? Medium range. Okay. So it's an average check plus an additional 1 because I'm using 2 weapon combat. But I have dual wielder, so I remove one of them. And I've got accurate. Since it's only accurate 1, even though I'm using 2 pistols, I only get 1 boost dice, I believe.
Correct.
Right. All right. I'm good with the dice pool. Do they have any defense?
I did not look. Let me check my resurgence. Yes, they have 1 range defense from their armor they wear beneath their robes.
All right. There we go. So 3
So
yellow,
these guys are,
purple.
These guys are
black.
attacking us.
They at the beginning of combat, they blew open the doors. The doors blew up, and they came in with weapons drawn.
Right. All right.
Drawn.
Drawn.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So
Big
she will
spears.
take them.
And they're drawn.
Yeah.
Yes. They drew their spears. They're very nice drawings. Very
Uh-huh.
shaded. They're in color. So, all right. Does that pool look good to you, Tony?
Actually, these are her guards. These don't have spears. These guys have dual-bladed scimitars.
Ooh.
Dual-wielding scimitars.
And they have them drawn.
And they have them drawn. Yes.
Ha! You bring scimitars to a gunfight?
All right.
All right.
Pulling the Indiana Jones on them.
So it's medium range where you're at.
Yep.
That's 2 difficulty. If you're using both revolvers, and you took the strain to only make it 2 difficulty instead of 3, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I am because you said a lot of things there, and I'm just making sure I heard that correctly. So I am going to keep it fair and upgrade your check
Right.
because I feel like it.
No problem. And the talent does not require me to take strain. It just allows me to remove 1 difficulty.
Okay.
All right. Right. There we go. And bam, bam, bam.
So which one did you hit? 1 or 2?
I will hit the one on the left.
Okay. For your 0.
Yep.
So he will take the
Yep.
7
But I
damage.
but I need 2 advantage in order to hit with the second revolver.
Right. So he took the 7 damage. 1 advantage, not enough to hit with the second revolver. The shot goes wide.
Mm-hmm. But still, the advantage, it makes them a little leery. So one of them, at least whoever acts first, will get a setback.
Copy that. First of the bad
Bullets.
guys gets a setback.
As bullets are flying.
Is that it for Zszree?
That is it for Zszree, actually. I guess there's also not pews, but places to sit, like a...
Yeah, there's a few benches here and there.
All right. She will take a maneuver to maybe slip over to the left over here, maybe behind some cover desks and chairs.
There's a bench there. Yeah.
All right.
I'll give you a bench for cover. Draw it in for me.
All right.
Small 2-person bench. All right. Geez, small bench, my butt.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Well, there's 2. It's 2 desks, 2 benches, one next to each other, but she's only using one of them.
Okay. Very well. I'm just giving you a hard time. Next player.
You bastard.
Go ahead, old 77. Richter isn't going yet. They haven't attacked, so he's not defending himself until he has to. So you don't want to die.
Then I will go. I will walk up, and one range increment will put me within range of pretty much at that spot between the board and the lecture, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to use my once per encounter cunning snare and set up a smoke bomb trap right there, so that when somebody walks into it, it will just explode into smoke.
Now, does that kind of just roll out of a secret compartment on your foot?
It's full of secret compartments.
Hang on. I have a poisoner's ring, and I also have smoke bomb vials. So maybe it just drop a little smoke bomb out of my ring. It's a small.
No, you have a
smoke
cod
bomb,
piece.
not a big one.
Don't you open up your cod piece and one ball falls out? One bomb falls out of your left one.
Place your token where you want to be within. You're sorry. Never mind. I remember.
I forgot my quick strike. Oh well.
Gotcha, Sean. You're there. I got you.
Okay. And it's a smoke bomb trap. And yeah. Okay.
That just sets up the trap. That's all it does. It doesn't require a roll or anything, Sean?
Yep. The talent reads off, once per encounter as an action, may create a trap. Any other creature who moves to engaged range of the trap must make an opposed vigilance versus skullduggery check to avoid harm and ill effects.
Okay. All right, so that's it for old 77. First bad guy to go. That will be the Immortal Resurgence warrior that was closest between old 77 and her. The one that got shot will advance right into your smoke trap because it didn't see it coming.
All right. He will have to make a vigilance check versus my skullduggery, which is 3 yellow, so he's gonna have a 3 red difficulty.
Okay. So 3 red versus his 3 green. He's heat of combat. I'm gonna give him a setback die. So you're going after his boss, and his sole motivation is to protect her because it looked like you advanced toward her.
And another setback dice from Zszree.
And a setback die from Zszree for first enemy to act. Do you have anything you want to do to my pool? Because I am not.
Nope, that looks good.
I'm hoping he sets off a smoke bomb here. And he does.
All right. A thick, choking cloud of fog appears right there at his feet.
And choking, meaning he spends his turn
and it is impossible to see through.
Flailing his swords blindly. but doesn't seem. Yeah, he didn't roll any successes with threat. He doesn't even come close to hitting you. I'm not going to bother rolling. He just. Okay, second enemy will be. No, we're actually going to do a non-enemy NPC here, and we'll do Dramos. Stormbender steps up, and he will, from his hand, blast forth some lightning at Lady Ursula, and attempt
Interrupting her monologue.
Attempt to stun her.
What have we learned so far? We're like halfway through the round, man. We haven't learned anything about her plan.
Oh yeah, her master plan. So yeah, 10 years of this master plan of monologue. So she has laid the groundwork, smoothing over the people of the city, making them believe that she is all nothing but a scholar here to study ruins. She has invited children into her home. Meanwhile, her soldiers have suffered in the wilderness. She has troops hidden in every quarter. She plans to take this city. She was only a few days from her master plan of flying them all in with an overseer's skiff and a staff that she found in the ruins.
Would have succeeded if it wouldn't have been for those damn kids.
That's right. Old man coffee.
Okay, and Dramos is right. Dramos, you're a foul beast, and you'll die for it. But today, I'm taking you in. And he casts a stunning lightning at her from his hands. And that's actually elementalism air. Although I have it as in here as something else, but it's coded correctly. And the difficulty is built in here. Let me see. 4. It's a daunting. For his disorient, stun, and knockdown lightning blast. So he maneuvered, so no aim, so here he goes. Sorry, she has adversary 1. Upgrade. Miss. So the lightning hits the chalkboard, dissipates, and he will take some strain for casting a spell. And that is it for Dramos.
It's all that cloud that's clouding the issue.
Okay. The other warrior will advance on him. Double move to get there. 2 strain. And double scimitar strike on Dramos. So that is going to be... Come on. What is it supposed to be? Melee is 3, strength, okay, so it is. It's not working the coding, and I'm not taking the time to do it. Difficulty is 3 purple, and Dramos happens to have a melee defense of 1. So, a single success, no advantage, so cannot hit with the second. Hang on a sec, forgot accurate.
Second weapon.
Accurate into the being blank. All right, so is just going to be 1 success on top of 5 damage, so 6 damage to Dramos, and he soaks 2 of that, taking 4. Okay. So this the scimitars are light up with they charge with freezing energy so they're frozen scimitars, frozen blades.
Freezing blade.
Yep. Okay. Last NPC slot to be taken before the bottom, which will be the Guardians, who will double advance to their boss's side. And since they're minions, that's all they get to do this round, using their action as a second maneuver.
Right.
Richter.
All right. Well, Richter's going to move over here to some cover. Quick draw his pistol.
Okay.
Aim at Lady Ursula. And say, you should be ashamed of yourself. Brainwashing kids like that. How dare you? Guessing she'll probably have cover behind
She will
her desk.
have partial cover. Yes.
Okay.
So her defense will end up being 1 range defense from the desk.
Okay.
And she also has adversary 1.
Okay.
All right.
Moved. Got behind cover. Drew. I'm going to spend 2 strain, and I'm actually going to aim this shot.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to add another setback die because this is an inaccurate pistol. All right. That look good to you?
Yeah.
Right.
For now.
For now.
Oh.
Total
Bang,
whiff.
bang, bang.
But 3 advantage. Let's see here.
3 advantage. You can negate cover.
Yeah, you know what? That's what I'll do.
Yeah.
Shoot
like-
the foot out on her podium and it falls over.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, her cover goes away.
Her
Just
lectern.
falls away.
You shoot the leg out of her on her lectern and it falls over.
Sweet.
All right.
That's it. All right. Finish up your monologue. What you got?
All right. So, sorry. Yeah. Well, last slot was her. So, yes, her master plan was to finish so that she could use the Overseer staff to bring in the rest of her warriors, which wait in the wilderness. She's been slowly making each one of her private trips to the ruins. She's been slowly making an army of elven revenants to fight by her side. They wait in the wilderness, and then the last part, the Overseer staff is the key to your portal, and I will use it. And that is her monologue.
Right.
Okay.
First NPC slot of round 2. Next
Okay.
week.
Next week. All right.
It is, we're at 3.5 hours. Do we want to pause here at the top
Yeah,
of the
we can
round?
pause.
Do we want to do one more round and then
Oh, we
stop
can
and
do-
come back for the final adventure in a month?
I'm okay with stopping here and
This is a good
Okay.
cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Starting off
Cliffhanger.
combat, everybody gets a couple shots off. She ends her monologue. Ha ha ha! I need
Yep.
the staff.
All right.
Oh,
Oh,
I did have-
and her staff is. She did not reveal where she has it.
all right.
I did have something cool I wanted to do.
But she
I can wait
does
till
have
next
it.
Okay, keep that in mind for next time. Maybe write yourself a post-it note so you.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
going to. I'm going
Put-
to.
But she
Put in-
does have it.
Yeah, put in your others tab, your notes there.
Yep. It's
All right.
Excuse me.
gonna also because it involves the fact that the podium's been knocked over.
Yeah.
Well, let's
Nice.
jump on
All right.
over into wrapping this up.
All right, everybody. Well, that was our show for tonight. Tony, very fun. Well done.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Thought you guys would enjoy it. Last
Yeah.
time info dump. This time a big little bit more of the info dump, but a big social encounter.
Yeah, that was, and I think we finally did it right.
Yeah.
I think we finally did it right. And that, I'll tell you, that was one of the better social encounters I think that we've had in a while. Some of them didn't feel as organic and flowed as well as that one for some reason. I don't know. That one hit it right on the head.
I think the best one I've run though was the one I did in our when we were playing for the brewery, when we did the Shadow of the Beanstalk game over there that we did in the club, in the nightclub. That was probably my best social encounter I've run.
That was that was a while ago too, but that was fun. That was good. Yeah. So well done. Okay. So next, so in 2 weeks, our next episode, we're gonna be another random show. Gonna be doing the random setting. In the expanded player's guide, we're gonna play around with the creating a setting, randomly generate one or two or three. We haven't decided yet what we'll do, but we're gonna hit those random tables and figure something out.
And
show the inner workings of how that
works. Yeah. There's basically probably just do one, just kind of go through them all, just kind of walk it down, right? Like we did. So yeah, we'll see.
Let's do 3. I know we want to, but
we could do 3, and then we could do and then we could pick our favorite out of those. What one turned out the best, and do yet another setting that we'll never write up and send it out to everybody, right?
Oh, I'm all for that.
Well, these will be little mini settings that can be attached to the Epsilon Eclipse.
There you go. Right on. All right. Well, I just want to say thank you, Sean, for joining us. It's fun having you as a player, as always, kiddo. Love you.
That's right.
Thanks for having me. As always, it's fun to play.
Yes.
I love playing old 77 because I did help make them.
You could tell, man. You could tell you enjoy playing them. This is awesome. That is awesome.
I like to play my thieves and smugglers.
Yes, you do. Yeah, thanks for joining us again, buddy. Join us in a month again, and we'll see how this combat goes.
Yeah.
Indeed, we will.
Yeah, we'll wrap this up next month, and then I don't know what we're going to do for an actual play next. That's up to whichever one of you guys decides to GM that. So, I think it was.
I know which one of us are going to do that. Yeah, Stefan.
Are
I don't want.
Are you handing it over to me? Handing the reins over? Is it here? Drive.
Was that too subtle? That wasn't too subtle for you, was it?
Yeah, I think it is a little too subtle. I think I failed my charm check or coercion check. The coercion resistance.
Apparently. We'll decide. We'll figure it out.
We'll decide. We'll talk about it.
All right. Well, if you have a suggestion for us or anything that you want to tell us, you can reach out to us at findingthenarrativepodcast@gmail.com and on Mayway at Finding the Narrative. All 3 of us are there. Stefan and I alone are on Finding the Narrative on Facebook. We'll talk to you there via chat or post. Stefan posts up all the time, both on those places and on the Twitter feed, the occasional boosting of someone's signal. So check that out.
Yep, between shows.
Of course, on Twitter, Stefan is there at FTN_Genesys. So tell your folks, tell your friends, listen to us. Well, maybe not your folks, but listen to us on Podbean, iTunes, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, Amazon Music, and many more.
More.
Yeah.
All right, this is Tony, your GM, saying make sure you spend those story points. Let's tell a story.
And this is Stefan saying dare to ask for those boost dice.
And this is Chris saying, remember the rule of cool. Never give away your fucking clockwork grenades. Damn it.
Unless you have to.
Unless you have to. Unless there's a big ass earth elemental saying, hand them over. But you know what? Just have fun doing it, everybody. Good night.
Bye.
Finding the Narrative, a Genesys RPG podcast, is not affiliated with or endorsed by any companies mentioned on this show. Any of the products mentioned on our show or appear on our website are the property and copyright of their respective owners. All items are used under fair use and educational and review purposes. All other items are the intellectual property of Finding the Narrative, a Genesys RPG podcast. Copyright
2021.
All rights reserved.